out to Leschewski. Leschewski for three. Got it!
Money, huddle, gotta, cuddle, lot of orders, dollars, quarters.
Welcome back, Irish fans, to Breaking Down Braves Boys podcast. Today we have another huge interview with Notre Dame star, newest Perth Wildcat, John Mooney. Thanks for coming on, John, and congrats on the contract.
Of course, man. No, I appreciate it. I'm happy we can do this.
For sure. So I guess I'll get into the questions. I guess we'll go – a lot of Americans don't really know about the NBL outside of like RJ Hampton and LaMelo playing there. What can you tell us about it that you know?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I'm thankful to have the offer to go play in Australia. The Perth Wildcats, gave me an offer, and it's a good deal. So I'm very thankful. But the NBL, it's a really good league, really good competition. There's been plenty of guys who have been in the NBL, then have gone over to play in the NBA, and vice versa. A lot of guys who are in the NBA, maybe on a fringe team or fringe roster guy, they'll go over to the NBL and play there. So that shows just how good the competition is. Obviously, Australia basketball is really good. They compete in the world championships a lot. You've got guys like Joe Ingles, Andrew Bogut, Patty Mills. Those are some of the best players in the world, and they come out of Australia. So definitely a place where I can go over and play and really learn from a good organization.
Like James Ennis and Miles Plumlee play for your team too. That's some of
they did. Miles Plumlee played last year. I know James Ennis played in the league as well. So again, that just shows the level of competition that I'm going to be playing against.
So this is in the news recently. What made you decide to go to Australia in the Wildcats specifically?
I mean, first and foremost, it's a really good league, good competition. So, I'm a guy who wants to compete and wants to get better. So playing against good competition and learning from a great organization like Perth. They've won 2 championships in a row. They're very successful. They've won a lot of championships, the most in the Australian League. So being able to learn from a championship organization like that, and they have really good coaching over there. So being able to learn from those guys definitely played a part in my decision.
Is there anything else in Australia you're looking forward to seeing? Have you ever been there?
So I have not been there, but everything that I'm hearing from friends and family who have is that Perth especially is beautiful. It's right on the water, right on the Indian Ocean. So being able to see that is going to be awesome. And then meeting the Australian people, I've heard nothing but good things. Heard they're humble people, nice people. So very, very excited to meet people of the Australian community. So
how big of an impact do you think not having summer league and all that, the pro workouts and stuff with the NBA teams, how did that affect your decision to go to Australia? Yeah,
I mean, it definitely affected my decision. Obviously the coronavirus is affecting a lot of things. It's certainly affecting the draft process. So, yeah, I mean, when Perth came with their offer, fortunately, a part of the contract says that if I were to get picked up by an NBA team, whether it's in the draft or whether, a free agent signing, I can go for that team and not go to Perth. So that's at this moment still plan A to get drafted and, maybe play here. So that's plan A, but obviously, I'm very thankful to have an opportunity to go and play in Perth if that doesn't work out, because again, it's a really good league, good competition, great coach over there. So I know for a fact that I'm going to learn a lot and get better while I'm playing over there.
For sure. I saw you were I wanted to touch on this. You were like an import player. Isn't it pretty rare for import players to not have played professionally before? That seems like a big deal.
Yeah, maybe. To be honest, I'm not sure. I know a lot of different leagues overseas have rules regarding import players. For instance, in Perth, I think you're allowed 2 or 3 import players. So the rest of the guys have to be from that country. So there has to be, I think, 8 Australian guys, and then you're allowed 2 or 3 American or import players on the team. But yeah, I'm not sure, if rookies get import players a lot. So I'm just gonna lace them up and play hoops, man.
Yeah, for sure. I actually didn't know that either. I was just asking you because I saw it on Twitter. I was on the Perth Wildcats comment section, and they were all making a fuss about that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but going to Notre Dame, I guess it's rare to see a guy as consistent as you. Even guys like RJ Barrett when they were in college, just because of all the schemes you see defensively, like 2-3 pack line, man, that's all in the ACC. What do you think the key to that was? It's being so consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing that comes to mind is coaching. Coach Bray would always give us a really good game plan, and personally, I was able to do a lot off of that game plan. And I think what comes to mind again is also Coach Ryan Humphrey. He was really good for me. He's great for all of the bigs that go to Notre Dame, and he's helped a lot of us get better. So just constantly being in the gym with him definitely helped me out. And then really my teammates. You look at Prentice Hub, TJ Gibbs, and Rex Pfluger especially. A lot of the points I scored were off of them creating, and they would happen to find me, and I was able to make the shot. So a lot of stuff goes into it. And fortunately I was able to be on the scoring end a lot of times. So but that goes to show how good of a coaching staff we had and how good of teammates were around me. For
sure. I think we got to get our obligatory Rex Pfluger praise in here. I think a lot of people don't realize how good of a passer he really is.
Great passer, man. We have one of the best passers I've played with. His ability, he can first of all handle the ball really well, which allows for him to get in the lane. Coach Bray's always talking about how he gets in the lane and he jump stops, so he doesn't travel, and he's really composed and strong with the ball, and then he's able to make a read, whether it's for himself finishing or passing out to me or someone else. So definitely, again, a lot of my buckets were off of him passing it to me.
For sure.
So you made a huge leap in your junior year. It's like one of the biggest I've ever seen, maybe one of the biggest ever. Outside of Bonzi and Martinez leaving, what do you think you changed? What do you think changed from your sophomore year to your junior year the most?
Certainly, opportunity comes to mind when answering that question. You look, obviously, Bonzi Colson was a first-team All-American or first-team All-League guy, an All-American guy. So, him leaving definitely opened up the door. Obviously, Marty Gevin too was a great player. But I used my first 2 years to learn from guys like that. And I think, obviously I wasn't playing as much as a freshman, played a little bit as a sophomore when Bonzi went down with an injury. But being able to learn from those two guys especially definitely helped me out. And then, when junior year comes around, I used what I learned from them, and really just being confident in your game. That's definitely one of the most important things that I learned in college was, believing in yourself, trusting the work that you put in will translate into games is vital if you want to, be successful on the court. So really, just having the mentality that, that you belong and that you can go out there and be the baddest dude on the court. That was, something that I tried to do.
That's great. What was the process like after you decommitted from Florida, and was it an easy decision to turn down an in-state powerhouse for Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, as a sophomore, I committed to the University of Florida, sophomore in high school. I think I was 15 or 16 years old. So when Coach Donovan, leaves and goes to the pros right before my senior year of high school, I hadn't really seen anything other than Florida. So, with him leaving, that was obviously a big piece of the puzzle. I kind of wanted to see what else was out there, just because I hadn't done that in high school because I was committed to Florida for so long and so early. So, I used it as a time to see what else was out there. Coach Bray and Notre Dame came calling, and I took a visit up to South Bend, and really the rest was history. Right when I got on campus, I knew that it was the place for me. I'm an Irish Catholic kid, so obviously my values align with Notre Dame's on and off the court. And it was the best decision of my life because 4 years at Notre Dame was the best part of my life so far. So can't say enough about it.
So you say like when you got there to the campus, you knew like that would be where you went?
Yeah, I kind of just had like that feeling. It's hard to describe, but I just knew after talking to Coach Bray, after stepping foot on campus, seeing the Golden Dome, seeing how Notre Dame did things again on and off the court. They certainly value academics, so that was something that I valued as well. And then just watching film, watching how Notre Dame played, I thought I could definitely fit in that system. So yeah, the combination of those things, just along with the guys that were already there, along with TJ Gibbs was committed before me. So all of it just kind of came together, and I knew right away.
Yeah, I didn't go to Notre Dame, but I visited the campus, and I I know it's just such a special feeling being there. That's like even if like you just kind of feel home there. It's a really cool place that
Most
I think
definitely.
that's a fan that hasn't been should visit. So my last question is, you kind of touched on this earlier. You didn't have a huge role your first 2 years. Were you ever considering transferring, or was there like a process you trusted in back then?
No, I never considered transferring. I knew coming into college that's the way Notre Dame did it, that Coach Bray lets his upperclassmen kind of run the show. And as an underclassman, you have to pay your dues a little bit, and you have to prove yourself, and you have to work hard coming in. And I knew that, and I used, again, that first year especially to be a sponge and to learn from the older guys and to learn from the coaches. I think personally I did that well. I did a good job of that, and not getting too down on myself, because I could look at Bonzie Colson. He didn't play a lot as a freshman either. Towards the end of the season he did, and he had a breakout sophomore and junior. So I kind of just kept that in the back of my mind, that if I stick with it, trust Coach Bray and his path for me, then it would work out.
That's awesome.
You were talking about being on campus a little bit. What were your first impressions like when you took the visit? I remember Coach Bray was talking about how it wasn't great, like you weren't playing well or whatever, and he didn't think you were going to come.
Yeah, so I get there on a Friday. It's a football weekend. It's actually opening football weekend. They're playing Texas. Well, that would have been 2015, I think. So first of all, the energy around the campus was just crazy. Notre Dame football is crazy, so those fans were really loud and hyped up. So I get there on a Friday, and I get right off the plane, and I have to do these academic meetings with front office people, and then like 30 minutes later they're like, yeah, we're gonna go play pickup now. So I'm like stiff and everything, and I play like crap that day. Like it's not good. I'm missing. I'm getting my shot blocked. It's not good. So I'm pissed off. Come back Saturday, we play pickup. I was a little better, a little more loose, a little more free. So was in a little bit of a better mood after that. But that's actually a funny recruiting story that Coach Bray likes to tell.
Mm-hmm. I can't imagine like that situation if you were cramped up and stuff. Bray probably wasn't that like, because you didn't play AAU in your junior year, right? So that was one of the first times Bray probably saw you. Yeah,
I mean, technically they weren't supposed to be watching, but he might have been looking up there in the rafters, looking down. Luckily, I played a little better that Saturday, but yeah, that Friday wasn't pretty.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then the last regular question we have for you. I know you're prepping for the NBA and stuff, and you worked on your jump shot a lot. Was that hard to get the hitch out of it, and does it feel a lot better now when you shoot?
I mean, I've always, considered myself a good shooter. Maybe didn't shoot it as well from the three-point line this past season. Part of that was mainly my role may have changed a little bit. Coach Bray told me to dominate down low, and that's what I tried to do. And they moved the line back, I think, a foot. So it was definitely an adjustment. And I'm a jump shooter, so I jump a lot when I shoot. So that was an adjustment because the line was deeper. Not trying to make any excuses, but after the season ended, again the line's even further with the NBA line. So I kind of had to sit down with my trainer and maybe try to smooth some things out, just because the line really it's farther. So if I want to play in the NBA, obviously, I have to shoot the ball from the three. That's the way the game's trending. So that was the mindset, and right now it feels good. Maybe the first week or two of doing it, it was a little frustrating just because it was new. But now after 4 or 5 months of just putting reps in, it feels good, and it's going down. So can't complain.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's all we have for the regular questions. Now on to the speed round, like you did on the radio show. This one, I think we know the answer because Nate kind of told us, but Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron, man. I got this Jordan shirt on, but I'm a big LeBron guy, always have been. But I will say, after the Last Dance, that dude Jordan was something else. But yeah, I'm a LeBron fan, so gotta go with my guy.
We're split on that, so we're happy. I'm happy you picked that. Jake's more of a Jordan guy, but I'm a LeBron guy. So
I mean, has Jordan ever led the league in assists? I don't know. LeBron's doing that right now as a 35 years old. I don't know, man.
It's two incredible players. I forget. We had Jack Nolan on, and he just alluded to you can't really go wrong with either.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's like we debate that in the locker room like literally every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a big debate among the basketball world.
What's the consensus? Is it Elijah said Rex and Jogo were Kobe, you and Nate were LeBron, the rest was Jordan?
That's probably pretty true. Again, you really can't go wrong with any of them, but yeah, me and Nate like to compliment LeBron a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this a bit off camera, but do you think you've improved at golf at all this off season? Because you were talking about in the spring how you weren't good.
I have. So, being down here in Orlando with the whole virus thing going on, a lot of stuff is shut down. But for the past, 4 or 5 months, the golf courses have been open. So that's kind of been the only thing to do outside of working out and spending time with my family. So have been playing a little more golf these past couple months. And, yeah, man, it's fun to get out there. I think I've definitely gotten a little better. Keeping it straighter. I've in the past have been kind of right or left, so I'm trying to keep it straighter.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think you've most improved on this off season? We touched on your jumper a little bit. Have you worked on anything else that's suited for the NBA level?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the jumper comes to mind. Talked about it before, but you got to be able to shoot it if you want to play in the NBA, especially from deep. So that's definitely been a big focus. And then really just everything else. My post game, picking and rolling little floaters, handling the ball a little more, so being able to tackle close out for 1 or 2 dribbles to, maybe make a play, whether it's myself finishing or dishing it off to someone else. And I'm really just trying to work on my body, being able to move a little bit better has been a big focus. So you got to be able to guard a lot of positions if you want to play in the NBA. So chances are, if I switch on to a guard or a wing guy, I have to be able to stay in front of them. So that's been a big focus as well.
Mm-hmm. This one is a bit controversial. I think you've watched the other ones, so you know. But who's the best dancer on the team? Elijah and Cormac have claimed it.
I'm going to say me and Nate are. We do this little pre-game dance thing. Me and Nate get in there. TJ and Elijah Morgan get in there. Those dudes are trash, so I'm going to have to give that one to me and Nate.
That's going to be really controversial. You might have to DM that to Elijah. He's not going to be happy, but we'll see.
I'll take my chances in a dance-off or fight against Elijah Morgan.
So what do you think is something people don't know about you? Normally people answer with the dancing, and I think you could answer with the golf also, but is there anything else?
I would say, I'm big into cards. So like playing card games like poker, gin and gin rummy and stuff like that. And then also got a couple card tricks up my sleeve.
Mm-hmm. You and Cormac, the 2 card guys.
Yes, sir, man. He's got some good tricks too.
What kind of stuff do you do with that? Like I wouldn't even know. Like you put it on the guy's hand or something? I don't even know.
It's magic, bro. It's magic. I can't reveal my secrets now. Come on.
That's true. This one, I was trying to get this on the radio show Asked, but Jack Nolan didn't see it till after, so I kind of got snubbed. But now I can ask it. What was your favorite memory at Notre Dame? Could be on or off the court.
I would have to say winning Maui my sophomore year was really cool. Obviously, that's a really good tournament. It's right in the beginning of the year, so it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the year. And we were really rolling. Matt Farrell, Bonzi Colson, Marty Gebbin, those guys were playing really well. I was coming off the bench and giving good minutes. So it was just a all in all great tournament, and obviously great to win something like that with your teammates.
That was one of the most iconic things in the past couple of years. The Bray shirtless celebration.
Oh, dude, that was sweet, man. That was awesome. That really got the guys super hyped, and man, he needs to put that shirt back on.
Yeah, how much celebrating was going on off camera with him? Was he going crazy?
He was, man. He was in a good mood for sure.
Mm-hmm. I guess you guys weren't running sprints the next practice, so that's good.
No, we were not. But then we actually lost the next game, so we had some sprints that day.
This one's from Jake. He wanted this on. Which teammate is most similar to you that was at Notre Dame?
I would probably say Nick Jogo. I had the chance to live with him, and we had the same major, so we were always in the same classes together. So yeah, we got to know each other pretty well. And he's a great dude and a good friend for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think that was Rex's answer also, but every time I go to a game or whatever and I see you guys not in uniform, everybody thinks Nick Jogo is you for some reason. I don't know.
I've been getting that for 4 years, man. It's I don't know, man. Maybe it's the beard, but I don't know. I don't see it. He's pretty ugly, so I don't know.
I don't really see it either, to be honest, but I guess that's a thing. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm. This is another comparison question, I guess. Which NBA player would you compare yourself to play style-wise?
I'll probably say Kevin Love. I've always loved watching him play. Obviously, a guy who can post up and score down low. He's got a variety of moves. Can shoot it from the outside, pick and pops really well. And then I just love the way he rebounds on both ends of the floor. I also love the way he defensive rebounds and then outlet passes, the length of the floor for early offense or an easy layup. So that's something and someone that I tried to model my game after a little bit.
For sure. Kevin Love in Minnesota. Grew up on that guy. That was awesome.
That dude was a bad dude, man.
Mm-hmm. This one we've asked to everybody, and we've got a different answer from almost every person. What was your favorite game this season?
I'll probably say when we played at Syracuse. That was one of the most high scoring, just back and forth game that I've ever played in. Both teams were playing at a high level. Both teams were hitting big shots. And it was really high scoring. So it was, I think we won by 1. But Joe Girard was going off. Prentice Hub hit a bunch of shots. Elijah Hughes on Syracuse played really well. So a lot of guys played well, and fortunately we were able to come up with a win. And that place was super crowded. It was really hyped. So it was cool to come out with a win.
Mm-hmm. You definitely love playing against those 2-3 zones, don't you? Georgia Tech had one, and you had 28. That game you had 28.
Yeah, I guess just again, my teammates were finding me, and I like to be around the foul line a lot and catch it there. Feel very comfortable in that area. Short corner is very comfortable, so that's kind of where you catch it in zones a lot. So yeah, definitely just very comfortable playing against zone.
For sure. And then the last one we have about Australia. If you end up there, what are you looking forward to most? Could be on the court, off the court. You've talked about a little bit. The fan base, anything like that?
Yeah, the fan base comes to mind. The Perth Wildcat fan base is crazy. They're called the Red Army. And, watching video and hearing some stories, I think they sell out every game. So hopefully, by the time I get over there, Corona's going to be figured out and there'll be fans allowed in the games because I've heard nothing but good things. I'm excited to learn again from a championship organization. They've won it a lot and they're very successful. So coming into that type of culture, I'm very very excited and confident that I can add value to that organization.
For sure. And then this, we talked about this a little bit off camera, but when are you going to get there? I know you mentioned that. I think you wanted to mention.
So I'm gonna wait out here in America until the NBA draft, which is October 16th. Hopefully, I'll get picked up here. But if not, then heading to Perth probably around late October. So I'm very excited either way. Again, I've always dreamed of playing at the professional level. If it's here in the States, great. If not, then I'm going to go over to Perth and have a great time there as well.
For sure. So that's all we got today. Jake, any closing remarks? Let's talk to John.
Yeah, I just want to thank him for taking the time to come on. It was awesome to have him on. To have a player like him on. Just wish him the best in Perth or wherever in professional basketball. Hopefully, I'd love to see him in the NBA. I think he can definitely do it. So just best wishes.
Guys, I appreciate it. Keep up the good work, man. I swear, Joey and Jake, I watch your guys' show, so keep it up.
Thank you. So
yes, sir.
That's all we got for this.